What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Arena of Valor video, and today we will be discussing the newest patch notes for Arena of Valor. I think on the Indonesian server you are going to be getting it today. On the EU, NA and Latin American servers we will be getting it, I think, around the 10th of April, but I'm not sure. It hasn't been confirmed yet, I think, but around that, you know, in like one and a half weeks we will be getting this. And so in this patch we will get the new chess mode, the auto chess mode for Arena of Valor. There's a lot of explanation to it. I'm not gonna read through all of that. I'm just gonna be showing you some gameplays when it comes out, and yeah, we'll see what it is about when it comes out. I will skip straight to the balance notes because that is what we are most interested in, right? So there we go, straight away. They are buffing mid lane once again, and it is a pretty big buff. They are increasing the basic gold for the mid lane minions while decreasing the gold for the other lanes, for top and bottom lane. And they're also increasing the XP you get in mid lane. So that is pretty much gonna buff all the mages, right? As always. As they did last patch with the mana regen items and stuff. So this is obviously super good. I do still think mid lane is still a little bit too gimped. However, the issue of that is this also buffs the jungle, because you already know that Enzo, you know, he will spin that goddamn hook. He will run right to your mid lane, okay, before you're level 4 even. He will shoot his goddamn hook, auto attack the minions, steal everything, and go back to his jungle. Nacroft will do the same. He will jump in, steal all your stuff. So you already know, man, this is gonna buff junglers as well. We'll see how this goes. I do think it is a good thing though, so yeah, keep that in mind. Mid lane is receiving a pretty big nerf as well though, so you will see soon. And yeah, we keep going with the equipment. They are giving Arctic Orb a huge buff, not increasing the gold cost, just increasing the ability power by 20 for free, so that is already huge. Then they're lowering the cooldown of the active from 90 seconds to 75 seconds, which is a huge buff. And remember, last patch they introduced that shield after you come out of the Arctic Orb, you get a huge shield, and now they're even buffing that shield by a pretty significant amount as well here, 400 to 500, plus better scaling and better AP scaling. Huge buffs, okay? Huge buffs to that item. I do think it is going to be a lot more viable on heroes like Tulan, on heroes like Raz, you know, where you want to go in and you want to pop that. On heroes like L'Oreal, I mean, most players already buy it on those heroes, and it's going to be even better. And yeah, then we keep going to the Frost Guard. I think this item was very underwhelming. A lot of players agreed. No one really buys it. I think the main issue behind this item is that it doesn't have any good users for it. It is kind of a tanky AP item. We don't really have a lot of tanky AP heroes. Marja was the closest thing, but they buffed her range on the second ability. So now she doesn't play as much into their face anymore. She's kind of staying at range. So all in all, this item just wasn't good enough. They're buffing it all across the board. They're making it build, instead of Ring of Vitality, they're going to make it build out of Knight's Plate, and they're removing the 500 health and giving it 225 armor, which is better, in my opinion, than the 500 health. 500 health doesn't do that much, you know, but 225 armor is going to do a lot. Knight's Plate is one of the best items to build as like one of the medium tier items, you know, so it is just going to make the build path better as well. So this item is just getting buffed all across the board. They are improving the damage as well on it, scaling per level, base damage, and the AP ratio is getting nerfed a little bit in turn, but as I said, it is more of a tank item. I still think, who is gonna build that? Maybe Roxy. She's not really in meta right now, so I'm not sure who is gonna be fit for that. We will keep trying it, of course, next patch and see how it feels. Now, this is a huge buff to Barracks Agony, in my opinion. They are changing it from 3% per second of current HP to 2% per second plus 40 +5 per hero level magic damage. So it will still not scale with AP, it will scale with your hero level. But this 40, if you make a quick calculation, like even at full HP, it's mostly gonna be more damage. So I feel like this item might be a big winner. We'll have to try to see how much damage it will actually deal. But I feel like this has a lot of potential. I'm excited to try it out on Tulin. On L'Oreal, you already build it, so I think this is a L'Oreal buff. And yeah, a lot of like Ignis and stuff that is just a straight buff for him. And yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But definitely something to try out on the next patch, guys, if you are playing that mid lane. And now the Phoenix tier, huge nerf. I'm really happy about that. They are putting the price from 600 to 800 without buffing the AP, and they're changing their restoration passive a little bit. It will go from 20% of HP, the mana is still the same, 20% of HP to 600 plus 30 per level of HP. I think this is more early game, but then worse in the later stages. However, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. The main difference is that 600 to 800 gold. I think it's not going to be that worth to buy this anymore, because I mean on Raz I already stopped. You guys know that. On Raz I buy Vlad's Impaler early because it builds out of the small 300 gold book now, and you can buy an item level 1. Before that, if you wanted to rush Vlad's Impaler, you couldn't buy an item level 1. And yeah, it is just this 600 to 800. Usually you would get Phoenix tier before you hit level 3, right? And then you would get the heal right at level 3, so you can play like an idiot. The first 2 levels, get poked out, and you still are full HP at level 3, it doesn't matter. Basically, that is going to be gone. You can't buy it before level 3 anymore. You can still buy it before level 4. However, I feel like a lot of people will experiment more with not buying this item. Last patch, they also gave you that juicy health pack in the mid lane, right? That already helps you a lot with sustain. So I think this item, you know, we'll see how it goes. I don't think I'll be building it on stuff like Liliana anymore, on stuff like Kali. You know, you shouldn't get poked out anyway on these heroes. You don't really need it. On stuff like Tulin, maybe I will try to not buy it anymore and just try to be a little bit more safe, not get poked and stuff. It is hard with Tulin because you have to melee the minions. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm very happy about this change. Should have been 2 years ago. Honestly, because everyone and their mom buys this goddamn item in the mid lane. You know, what can I say? Then Reaper's Blessing Enchantment, okay? There we go. There's the Death Sickle nerf. It is gonna be going from it activates at 3 minutes to it activates at 3 minutes and disappears at 6 minutes. So if you didn't die and get saved by your Death Sickle enchantment, after 6 minutes it's gonna be gone anyway. And the duration, this is the huge one, is getting nerfed from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. So a lot of these heroes like Florentino, who literally are immune 1 second and they can heal with Desperate Duel, heal with the passive, and they're almost to half HP again after you already bursted them down and they kill you during it. This will be gone, okay? Half a second only. Even Florentino can't lifesteal as much. It was going to be much more balanced. But I think what's going to happen is everyone is going to use the Arctic Orb enchantment instead of Death Sickle. It's on the same row. So it is better anyway for a lot of heroes. Like for a Tulin, for example. I use Death Sickle because I can't be bothered, okay? But honestly, for Tulin, for Raz, the Arctic Orb is better in a lot of cases because you can choose when you want to use it. You can save it all the way to late game if you want to. And yeah, it is just really nice. It is a really good nerf. I think a lot of people will stop using this. I think Florentino might still use it because he's literally the perfect hero to use this, but a lot of heroes will stop using it. Now we get to the hero changes. A lot of you guys complained about Violet. Timmy listened, they are nerfing her. You know how when she rolls, she has 2 shots. One is an AOV pierce that pierces everyone, and the second shot is just the same range, but just a normal auto attack range. Normal auto attack, okay? No piercing, no AOE. They're reducing the ratio of that second shot on the S1 from 1 like 100% of your AD to 80% of your AD, as you can see here. That is gonna make her one-shot you less, because it's really annoying. If she goes Rampage Arcana, she can just completely blow any squishy out late game if she farmed well. Then they're also increasing the mana cost. She already has a tiny bit of mana issues, so I think now most Violets will be forced to go for the little mana enchantment that whenever you hit somebody you get 8% of your mana back. But it's not that big of a deal. And then they removed the restriction that enhanced normal attacks by ability 1 cannot get critical hits, and they decreased the attack speed of enhanced normal attacks. So basically, you will, your S1, okay, this is very badly written, your S1, you shoot twice, right? And she does it like that instantly, right? It will take longer between these shots, first of all, so you can maybe flicker away out of her range. Second of all, they're enabling her bonus damage on her auto attack, like on her S1. Whenever you roll, you have a certain base damage on the next auto attack. They're gonna allow that to crit as well. So she will deal a little bit more damage, but it will be around the same damage, I guess, if she crits with this nerf. But it will take longer to, like, you know how Violet doesn't build any attack speed and she still shoots really fast because it's a fixed, like, she has the bonus attack speed on the S1. It doesn't really say it, but you can just tap it quickly twice and you just shoot twice. They're removing that, and I think this is overall going to be a pretty decent Violet nerf. I think she's still going to be strong, judging from that, but we will have to see. Moving on to Joker, he is getting a pretty big nerf as well. A lot of people complain about Joker as well. I don't think he's particularly OP. I do think he's really just annoying to play against. He can get shut down in the late game very easily. Like if you compare what do you want to have late game, a Joker or a Violet, it is very clear what you would choose. Moving on to Joker, they're also going to be nerfing him. A lot of you guys have been complaining about him as well, and me personally, I complain about him as well. I don't think he was super OP. I think he was just really annoying to play against, and he's still going to continue, but we will see here. The passive is getting adjusted. The slow was 90%, which is insane. It's going to move to 50% at early game, scaling up to 90% per level. Every 3 levels, 10% increase. So this is already a huge nerf, okay? His passive slows you really hard. It helps him kite those tanks a lot. And this is just gonna make his early game a little bit weaker, you know, especially against these tanky heroes that chase you down, like an Arthur, stuff like that, right? So this is definitely gonna hit him. But late game, he will still have that 90%. Now, the passive is also getting its range decreased by 0.25 meters from 8 meters to 7.75. And you will see Joker's range at all times when he has his passive. So you will see when you're in range or not to get hit by it. So it's a little bit of a quality of life change when playing against him, and a little bit of a range nerf, but it won't matter too much, honestly. And then the ability 2 cooldown is getting buffed though in exchange. It's going down from 15 seconds to 13.5 seconds at level 1. And at the max level, I think it will be 10.7 seconds if my math is correct, instead of 11 seconds. So just a tiny buff late game. And yeah, basically, I think Joker is still gonna be the same amount of annoying. He's still gonna one-shot you if you're squishy. When you're squishy early game and you get one-shot by Joker, have you ever thought, man, I was slowed, that's why I couldn't escape? Not really, right? If you're a Violet, you walk into a bush with a Joker inside, he's gonna auto-attack you, rocket you, ult you, S2 auto-attack again, and you're dead, right? You can't, you know, even if you're only 50% slow, he's just gonna still just one-shot you, right? It's like an assassin. So, and against tanks, it's definitely gonna help tanky heroes to run him down early game, but it just makes the counters to him even more of counters, and it makes the weak heroes against him, like squishies, still weak the same amount. So, not sure what to say about this. We'll see how big of a nerf this slow will be though. because it can be deceiving, you know, it might feel really useless. We'll have to test that out, but I think Joker is still gonna be good. Maybe not ban-worthy anymore. Now Errol is getting a huge change, okay? Huge changes. I think this hero desperately needs it. He's really not that strong, honestly. So yeah. Now the passive, every third auto attack you do a little dash, and this dash will now show his range, okay? So you will see how much range you have on that dash, so that's a little bit of a quality of life. So you can, you know, it's easier to play him. Ability 2. Now this is a really cool change. The ability 2, whenever you reach 5 stacks of your passive, each next auto attack didn't really do anything for you, right? You were at maximum stacks and you just had to keep auto attacking to keep the maximum stacks. Now every auto attack will reduce the cooldown of ability 2 by 1 second after you have 5 stacks, okay? So you hit 5 stacks, the next auto attack, you reduce cooldown of S2 by 1 second. So what you're basically gonna do is usually you would jump in and then you would wait until you have 5 stacks and then use your S2 to get the knockup. But now you will just S2 at 4 stacks and then just keep auto attacking, or even S2 to gap close to get in range to auto attack. Get your 5 stacks, you get your S2 very fast at that point because you keep auto attacking super fast, and then you can knock out people, and it's pretty cool. In exchange, they're reducing the slow of S2. You know, if it doesn't knock up, it has only a slow. They're reducing that from 80% to 50%, so that is meh, you know, it's still a buff in my opinion. And then ultimate is getting changed. You know, if you ever played Errol, you for sure got your ult cancelled, and it's the most annoying thing ever. They're gonna give you 50% cooldown of the ult back if you get it cancelled, which is good. Then remove the action freeze before landing. I think they mean you can use flicker now. You can use summoner skills during your ult now. I believe that's what it's called. That's what they mean by that. Maybe they also just mean that you can use it more smoothly. Like you can chase people longer, because as you know, you use your ult and you're like above their head and then they keep running, but right before you land, you can't chase them anymore. Maybe you can just keep chasing them until you land. That would be pretty good. Anyway, whatever it means, it's gonna mean that it's easier to hit now. And in turn, they're gonna be reducing the knock back on the ult by from 0.75 to 0.5 seconds, okay? So all in all, I think this is a pretty big buff for Errol. I think he's gonna be much more able to fight in that side lane now. Even in the jungle, he's gonna be much more, he's gonna have a better jungle clear because you can S2 twice and stuff like that. And S2 actually does a lot of damage. I think you might max it now, honestly. And yeah, good change for Errol. We'll have to, again, test it out. Elandorr is getting buffed. I think Teamy is just not playing their game, man. I think Elandorr is the strongest marksman in the game right now. And they're buffing him. They're buffing him a little bit, increases the damage of passive mark from 150 to 160. From everything is just getting buffed, okay? Just a little bit, the per level, the per AD ratio. But you have to keep in mind, you proc a lot of those passives, okay? So, and the passive is AOV as well. I don't know, man. You know, this hero is already busted. You're buffing him even more. I believe with this patch, we will also be able to buy all the previous Codex heroes, Elandorr, D-Rock, and Volcat. And yikes, dude. You know, everyone and their mom is gonna play this. What can I say, man? Yeah, yikes. Anyway, moving on to Richter. He is getting a tiny buff. Increased HP regen in the bush to 2 per second from 1 per second, I think. 1% per second. And so they're doubling that, but it's you know, it's a nice little buff. Charge time of ability 2 can be shortened by cooldown reduction now. You know, he had those charges, you couldn't shorten that by cooldown reduction. So now, just CDR on Richter is gonna be even better than it was. It was already really good. And yeah, adjusted the cooldown of ability 2 to 3 seconds. I think between each use, I think it was 2 seconds, I'm not sure. Well, we'll see what this exactly does. I think this overall buffs the tanky Richter a little bit more, you know, because cooldown reduction is generally built on tanky Richter. And the health per second Regen is also good for a tanky Richter with a lot of HP. So yeah, I think they want you to play a little bit of a bruiser Richter. The previous patch already showed that. Now Lubu is getting nerfed, I think deservedly so. I think this hero is really strong. I don't think he's super OP, but this is a good little slap on the wrist. He's the only one who can beat Yena. But again, there's no Yena nerfs, so Teamy doesn't play their own games. Maybe they do, maybe they all main Yena. I don't know, man, I don't know, but Yena is, yeah. Lubu was the only one who can beat Yena, and Florentino can, but Florentino and Yena are completely broken. So yeah, he was the only not broken hero who can beat Yena. And he's not getting nerfed, you know. He was really annoying to lane against for every other hero. And yeah, basically the buff duration on his passive is going from 5 to 4 seconds. It's gonna make him harder to play because it will be harder to keep those stacks up and running. So yeah. Now moving on, also nerf to jungle Lubu. He is also gonna have less of stacks and stuff between the camps and stuff like that. Anyway, Max getting buffed. He has on his passive a healing reduction on the true damage of 25%. They're buffing it to 50%. Huge buff. He is gonna be, yeah, he can be used against healing heroes like Tara, like Lubu, like Roxy, but only Lubu is really used, and Lubu heals so much he doesn't really care. Max is still not good enough, but they're buffing him more and more. They buffed him last patch, so we'll see. Maybe he will see usage here and there, but yeah, definitely not too impressed by this. He's gonna be good against L'Oreal and stuff, but you know, everyone buys Tome of the Reaper anyway against those heroes, and it doesn't stack, so you know. Then Superman, they are improving a lot of, they're removing a couple bugs. They're gonna make him more smooth. You know, whenever you use ult, you like stand, you like keep walking into a direction without being able to move. It's all a bit clunky, you know. They're buffing all of that. They're buffing, they're giving you better indicators, like the laser has much more range than it actually shows you on our current patch. They're gonna show you the actual range and stuff like that, right? So all over a couple quality of life improvements. Tara, again, the same thing. She can use ultimate during the S2 spinning now. She wasn't able to do that. Just all over, making her less clunky. Fixed a bug that caused the damage of the ultimate of Tulen to be lower than expected. Yeah, just a Tulen bug change, bug fix. Marja, also a bug fix. She used to have, it shows you more range on her S2 than she actually has, so they're just bug fixing that. And then Thane, also again, changing how you see the range. It has less range than it actually shows you. And Brunhilde will from now on maintain the number of passive stacks when the ultimate starts and ends. And this is just gonna be, yeah, you're not gonna get scuffed, you know, you're not gonna lose your passive while you mount, so you can fight before, get your passive, and then like stack up your passive, and then you can mount when someone is running away, and you won't lose those stacks. Just a tiny buff. And yeah, other than that, there's only bug fixes. There's not too much else. There are again changes to the matchmaking. They're saying they're improving it again, but listen guys, I'm not even going to read it. I read it before, but I'm not going to read it to you guys because they don't really do any of these things. They told us we would get only solo queue on the last patch. It didn't happen, so who cares about that, right? But apparently it's something for lower ranks, so platinum, gold, and diamond. Yeah, it's probably for other servers only. And yeah, what else is there? There's the, of course, new ranked screen. They're trying to make it racing themed. It's pretty cute. You get the new Timmy skin for the new season, will be like a racing themed skin. It is pretty cute. It's a good skin. Then here are the chess thingies. They are gonna be introducing Arena of Valor chess, and you will be this cute thing. And whatever, you know, Carano chess. What can I say, man? We'll try it out. I will show you in a video. I don't want to read all these things. We just have to see and test it out ourselves. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was faster than usual. Usually I take 40 minutes. I hope this was like 20. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little rundown. I hope I gave you as much knowledge as I could. Let me know how I can improve this, if I said anything that I shouldn't have said, like useless stuff, you know. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for future. I will do every patch rundown as always. And please give me feedback on these. I hope you can give me feedback if I'm clear enough, if I'm talking too fast, stuff like that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, boys. Bye bye.